The man wore only a towel around his waist, rushing into the snow nearly naked as the biting winter wind pierced his skin. He shouted for his friend, urging him to join this so-called test of manhood. But no matter how he pleaded, Ilya stayed curled in the warm room, tightening his towel. Unlike Andrei, who had been self-reliant since childhood, Ilya was long accustomed to a lazy, reclusive life. Andrei refused to give up. He fetched a handful of snow, insisting his friend embrace winter's gift. He didn't expect the joke to anger Ilya. Unlike Andrei's rugged self-sufficiency, Ilya had always been the weak one, happiest doing nothing but napping on the sofa all day. To Ilya, everything in the world had purpose, even the leaves of a centuries-old tree that withered and regrew repeatedly. This childlike philosophy left Andrei both amused and concerned for his friend's wasted potential. "You must start a new life. Now or never," Andrei declared, forcing his way into Ilya's apartment. Despite protests, the harsh rehabilitation plan began. The morning alarm had barely rung when Andrei stormed in with a basin of ice water, yanking open the curtains in a near-sadistic wake-up routine.
Значит так. Палату по делам, потом обедать.
Ilya had no chance to sleep in. He was dressed by servants in formal wear, then seated at the table bleary-eyed for the earliest breakfast of his adult life. To his despair, Andrei dumped his beloved beef rice and replaced it with a green salad, decreeing less meat and more vegetables to shed his excess fat. Less meat and more vegetables and fruits were torture for Ilya. Before he could recover, Ilya was hauled into a carriage to meet a self-made business partner. The host fawned over Andrei but ignored Ilya, wounding his pride. In humiliation, the introverted and sensitive Ilya simply dozed off at the man's desk. The subsequent social events felt like torture, a child thrown into the adult world, alien and overwhelming. He felt like an ignorant child suddenly thrust into the adult world, everything unfamiliar and unsettling. On the carriage ride home, Ilya was exhausted. He was truly tired. Yet that night, he woke strangely alert, sneaking to old servant Zahar's room with a lamp to steal snacks. Just as he started eating, a demonic face appeared in the door's peephole, terrifying Zahar. Andrei had caught him red-handed, having discovered his friend's secret somehow.
Ужель ты хочешь опять походить на дряблый, ветхий, изношенный кафтан? Ну, послушай, Илья, ну вот что проку, что ты теперь наешься и бухнешься спать вот с таким вот брюхом? День-деньской, спи, пей, хочешь?
Andrei's roar froze Ilya in place, but when he threatened to tie a pig to his bed, Ilya smiled happily. It was as if he saw countless delicious roasts flying toward him. That childlike smile instantly deflated Andrei's anger. He truly couldn't stay mad at Ilya. Eventually, the man who'd stuck to a strict routine for years ended up sharing the greasy midnight snack, muttering, "This is the last time." Their friendship was a miracle, like the eighth wonder of the world. One as fierce as a wolf, the other as laid back as a cat, yet bound by deep affection despite their extremes. Under Andrei's pressure, Ilya's life stabilized, but he still loathed fake socializing. To him, fake pleasantries and idle hours over cards or tea were no different from napping in bed, weren't they? That changed when Andrei introduced Olga, a beautiful girl, to him. Beside the fairy-like, confident Olga, the already insecure Ilya shrank into the shadows, too ashamed to meet her gaze. No matter how Andrei urged him, he couldn't speak properly. Andrei had to escort Olga back to the banquet hall, leaving Ilya alone in the empty corner. But soon, the trio often played in the snow, and Ilya grew more cheerful with their company. Yet their happiness was short-lived. Andrei had to go on a business trip to Europe for work. Before leaving, he begged Olga to continue his rehabilitation plan, especially to urge Ilya to finish his estate management plan. Otherwise, the prodigal heir would go bankrupt and end up a street vagrant. Olga was confident. She'd long planned to make Ilya read newspapers and draft farm improvement plans. In short, when Andrei saw Ilya again, he'd be impressed. After Andrei left, Ilya moved out of the apartment as he'd asked and rented a villa near Olga's home. From then on, he woke early every day to bring books to Olga, walking, reading, and enjoying the beautiful spring together. Unknowingly, Ilya fell for the beautiful, kind girl. Though Andrei kept writing to urge him to join him in Europe, Ilya delayed, reluctant to leave Olga. But Olga grew odd, constantly angry at Ilya, even pointing to a nearby grove and saying it blocked the view and was annoying. Ilya was confused, but to please her, he put down his book and cleared the bushes himself. If old servant Zahar had been there, he would have wept for the young master's growth and kissed his forehead in excitement. Yet his humility earned no response. Olga stood him up. The joy that had lit his face vanished instantly. The field was filled with birds chirping, flowers blooming, and trees shading, with occasional insect sounds. Gazing at the beautiful scenery, Ilya drifted off again. In a haze, he returned to childhood summers. Servants napping under trees, his father and friends telling jokes in the parlor, and Ilya safe in his mother's arms. Back then, he'd always begged his mother to stay a little longer, never imagining she'd leave so soon.